Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Squidwork Entertainment. And today we're going over a new show. It's been out for a while. We're just now learnt of it. I just got caught up on watching this amazing show, and it's called From. Boy, is this show freaking awesome. I gotta say, it's probably one of my favorite shows now. It is so freaking awesome. Since we're kind of late to this party, we're just gonna start with the newest episode, episode 3 on season 3.
So I do want to talk a little bit about the intro. Like we have the intro by the Pixies, and it's such a great intro. It's such a great intro for a show. It's like, man, this should be the standard.
It is amazing. I love that intro. So Pixies, they do a great job. I love this song. It's now on my Spotify list. I listen to it all the time. It is amazing.
Yeah, which I was honestly surprised the Pixies did that song, because I was like, wait. The Pixies
I know.
did that?
The Pixies?
What?
Me too. I was like, the Pixies? I was like, really? That's interesting. And it really, that theme song kind of makes it just feels dark, right? Because all the
It does.
pictures you see and the way he sings it, it just gives a darkness type atmosphere to the show. And it's just,
100%.
it really, really goes well together. But anyways, let's get into this episode. This episode was really, really, really good. It opens up with Thomas talking to his father, Jim. Last episode ended with Thomas talking to his dad. This episode, it just picks right up where they left off. Who is that really, Thomas? What do you think?
See, oh man, I do think it's Thomas, because like I feel like the spirits are there. We've had in the past episode that we've seen, like for example, we have Father Cautry. He talks to Boyd. We have Jade seeing like spirits from the 1800s.
Yeah, he's seeing all kinds of stuff.
All kinds. So I do feel like the spirits are captured there. But the weird thing is that I'm having trouble understanding is Thomas didn't die there, and I feel like
He was just a baby when he was an infant. He was like when he born,
right?
He died.
Right.
From what I understand, I may be wrong on that, but so I understand.
No, you are right, because he's on a chaining table. He couldn't even walk yet. And that's the thing is like, I feel like when you die, that's kind of the age that you die at in terms of your soul. So I don't know. Maybe it isn't. Talking this out makes me really think that that it isn't Thomas for that.
No, I don't think it's actually Thomas. It's them just trying to break Jim. Now they're going after Jim, going after Boyd, going after Kenny, and they're going after Jade. You're right. Those four are the ones they're really going after. Is those four trying to break with them, because Jade's seeing all kinds of crazy stuff. Boyd, we know what happened last season with Kim. What Jim says, which is really interesting, whenever he's talking to Boyd. So I actually take that back. Whenever he's still talking to Thomas, Thomas says on the phone, he says,
"You should be watching Joey and Ethan. You shouldn't let them play outside so close to dark."
Or your kids.
Really?
Kids.
Well, he actually names Ethan. Also, he actually names him in that when he's talking to him. But what really pisses me off about the show, or just stresses me out, really, is that it seems like Jim never knows where Ethan's at. They don't keep an eye on him at all. First season, second season, he's just off in the woods with Victor. He's off doing this. He's off doing that. I would be watching that boy. He would not be able to leave my side.
I think that's just the whole, hysteria of the place. I feel like right now he's lost what it is like to be a dad, and it's because he's been focused on he just lost his wife, so he thinks, everyone's dying, they're running out of food. Like, he's been trying to set up this problem and nothing. Fix this problem, and he's not really getting anywhere. So I feel like. And that's just the thing. Earlier in the story, it showed what Boyd was like before he lost his wife. And that is exactly what's happening to Jim. And that's exactly why his daughter, has a talk with Jim, and was like, hey, I was there, for Ethan when Thomas had passed. But she says, I can't do this again. I need you to get your shit together and be there for Ethan. because he needs you right now. I can only imagine what the crazy things that's going through Ethan's head, being so young and seeing all this crazy stuff, it's just so wild.
And Ethan's really creepy. Like the things he says, like later in the episode when he's talking about his mom and being dead, and then the spiders and bugs eating her and everything. It's just really, really creepy.
And that's just the thing. It's like, that is, he's traumatized, and that is his trauma and depression talking. Like, he's so confused. He doesn't really quite, like, he understands death, but he doesn't really understand death and the process of everything. And so this is just his little brain trying to accept everything, and it's just so much for his brain to process. It's too much for a kid's brain to process. 100%.
Anyway, so one of like Boyd's plan, he wants to catch one of those things. Like, his plan is to catch one of these monsters that come out at night, with these vampire creatures, which I think is a pretty interesting plan. But can they actually pull it off? Because I think if they do this, someone's gonna die. If they actually try to catch one of these, someone is definitely gonna die.
Well, I thought someone was gonna die when Boyd tried to kill one, and he actually did kill one. I mean, I do feel like it is possible to trap one, but it's just like, look, my way of thinking here is, look what happened when Boyd killed one. The seasons changed. They're in the snowy time now.
Is that when you think triggered the season change? Is whenever he killed one?
I think that it was a big part of the trigger. Yes, because they found out, hey, we can kill these things, and so
you also got to think that Victor lived there for 30 years and the seasons never changed.
Yeah, but they've never killed one up until then.
Yeah, true.
They've never killed one up until. So my way of thinking is, whoever's controlling this is like, okay, if they figured out how to kill these things, we're gonna up the ante. We got to make.
But
this
not
hard.
really. Like he could only kill one of them. Like the worm thing only worked with one time, and they wasn't able to extract anything. Well, I mean,
the more they learn about this place, I feel like the harder they're gonna make this place. That to learn even more information.
Yeah. That's true, because Ethan or Victor kind of says that, the more whenever people try to learn stuff, people don't come back. They die when they try to learn about the place. Because they don't want you learning about the place at all.
They just want to study. They want to.
Well,
use you as
I think it's more whatever this place is, it feeds off people's hope and people's fears and people's I guess will to try to get out of here, and because it's kind of pointless. I feel like once they break them down.
Experiment, and it's I do feel like it's an experiment, and that there is people at the top kind of watching everything, because like look at that storm that rolled in, in I think it was the first season when they built the tower.
Yeah.
And the guy that talked to him, that's what gives me Lost vibes, is because the whole concept of Lost in the Island was it was a big it was laid out to be a testing facility, essentially, to see what people do and react in this kind of environment. And I get the same kind of vibe from the town, is that they're being studied to what do people do under these high extreme stresses. Can they solve this kind of puzzle? Like, it's just a bunch of different things. It's like, for example, if the Nazis, made an experiment, this is the kind of shit that they would make, and think of, is this kind of shit right here.
Well, I thought it was an experiment until what happens at the end of the episode.
I still feel like it's an experiment, because it's like, they're gonna, why not put her back in there? I feel like, at the same time, it's a big puzzle. Like, this thing is, it's an experiment and it's a puzzle at the same time, and that's why multiple people have been, picked to go save these children, because essentially what the show is saying is, once you save the children, everyone can leave. And it's just like, these people are putting you through all these trials and tribulations to save these kids, and from what we know right now, once you save the kids, everything's right, and you've got to be the chosen one to do so, because, you got to see the visions and etc. What I find so irritating is Victor. Victor's been there for so long, and I don't understand why people aren't
I know. Asking
talking
more
to
questions.
him more. Yes.
I know.
Yes.
It makes no
Like,
sense. It's one of the things I'm like, there's a big plot hole here. He's been here for 30 years and not one person asked him, hey, could you tell us a little bit of what's been happening?
Yeah, Ethan's mom, I feel like she's the only one that sees, hey, Victor is part of this. Like, he's like a big key in this, and we need to talk to But what's so irritating is that she's the only one talking to Victor. She's not letting her husband in on this, or her daughter. And so when she goes missing, everyone's like, oh, I have no idea what she was really doing because she didn't fucking tell anybody. And it's just like, the lack of
nobody. I know.
The lack of communication in this show drives me fucking nuts.
It does. Me too. Me too. It drives me. I'm like, talk to Victor. Jesus Christ. Everyone wants answers. Talk to Victor. Someone say something to Victor, damn it. Jesus Christ,
I mean, that would be my biggest thing. I'd be like, all right, Victor, you're a little weird, but we're going to be best friends, all right? Me and you, buddy.
Yeah, I know. Me and you. You're going to tell me everything, all right? Another weird thing about this episode is Fatima. She's eaten all that food that's gone bad. And whenever she's talking to that weird lady, like I think that lady, because they were talking about a spy. You remember talking about like someone inside the group may actually be working for this whole, experiment, whatever it is.
Yeah,
I think it's the old lady. I think it's that old lady. Even though she came in on the bus, I think like she knew she was, she knew where she was going. She knew where everyone was going. She's really, really weird.
Weird. And that's another Lost thing that they're taking is because remember Ben in Lost, he was the outsider that came in and then like he actually started,
season 2
right.
Yeah,
and this is kind of you're right, and that's what I'm saying. Like I'm getting that vibe from her. She's part of this more than because she comes in, she has cancer, she gives her morphine away. All right, like she's like, oh, you guys need this way more than I do. I'm like, you have cancer, lady. Like, it's not like you have a cold. Like, you have cancer. And if you noticed, she hasn't really declined very much in terms of her cancer. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this place is, same with Lost. You remember that one couple?
It's a healing property.
Yeah. Wherever she was there, she had cancer as well. She was supposed to die soon, but it was gone while she was there at this place. And I think this place is very similar because Fatima said she couldn't have a baby.
Exactly.
But now she's pregnant, but she's eating all this crazy shit. And what was really messed up, I think a really, really bad omen, is whenever that crazy old lady is doing the tarot reading, And then,
I absolutely don't think that is a bad reading. That's kind of like what I bleed into a lot of that stuff, So I think it's really cool.
So you think that the crow coming in and then smashing through the window and then dying is not a bad reading?
I think that that was, them trying to distract the old lady from giving her the answer. You know what I mean? Like that this place does not want Fatima to know what the hell's going on. And that's what I was going to say. I say Fatima.
Fatima.
I know it's Fatima, but it's hard. Yeah, I don't mean to say Fatima. So, but
we're
Fatima.
from Oklahoma. We're sorry. We don't know how to speak.
Anyway, Fatima. I feel like we're getting Rosemary's Baby's vibe. I don't know. Have you ever seen that movie, Rosemary's Baby?
Yeah, of course.
And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting with her. So it's just like, it's really interesting. I feel like she's going to like give birth to like this, the devil or something.
I think she's going to give birth to something, but it's not going to be a healthy, beautiful little baby.
Human baby.
It's not going to be that.
Because and as of right now, we have no records of any other baby being born in this place.
Yeah, no, that's another thing that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this episode. Is whenever they go, searching for food, Kenny and then all the other guys.
Yep.
And they come across those weird dolls with
Tiki
spikes.
statue things.
Yeah. Those things that definitely mean something. Someone in the episode said they could be kind of like the talismans. It could be something very similar.
That's what I think it is. I think that they're shielding that little area from whatever the fuck is in those woods.
Yeah, because there's something in those woods, man. Because like we hear whenever they're there the first time that something was like crawling around on the cabin. So there's something in those woods that is,
Jade was seeing, so in the previous, I don't know if it was this season or last season, but he was seeing the soldier from the 1800s. Well, in this season, he's seeing more of a guy. I feel like that's 1920s farmer kind of boy, farmer kind of dude, and is like, he's got that, his head pushed against that tree with a spike, through his eye.
Oh, through his eye, which is very similar to that one chick. They did the same thing to that one chick.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like that is a spirit, that they built those cabins around the same time period that dude, was in that town. So that's kind of vibe I'm getting.
I think so too. I do agree with you there. I think this was a town that people lived at until something crazy went down and they all died. And then, the town just basically resets and more people come. And
you can see throughout the years that people have made progress. I feel like they've left the town, they've done different things, but no one has quite figured it out yet,
Yeah, and since Jade was, seeing this crazy stuff, he's like, I'm out of here. I'm done. You guys have fun. I'm getting out of here. And he's leaving, and Chris is like, hey, you're going the wrong way. You're not even going the right way to get back to where you need to go. She chases after him, and she steps into like a bear trap.
Which is brutal. And they're trying to figure out how to, get her out of it. And they have to break one of those tikis in order to do it, which I was like,
I know, me too. It's like, because whenever he takes that piece out and that guy's like, let's just break this crazy freaking thing that's probably, we shouldn't be messing with. What he's saying makes sense, but what else is there to try to pry that thing off of her? Because the thing's chained to the tree. Why is it there, for one? Is it a trap that was set there to try to get people stuck there? Because she's dead.
No,
if she
I
stays
think
there.
it's because that is the kind of tool that they would use from that time area. Where the guy is chained up. So whoever got lost,
dude, they're gonna use that to try to catch one of those things.
Yes, that's what I feel like the old people try to do. But now that this is a new element in the show, next episode that they're gonna take it back to the. I hope at least they take it back to town, and that's how Boyd tries to catch it.
Yeah, because that would be really, really good. Put one of those out there and trap them that way. Think that would be really. I bet you that's how they go with it. I bet you it is.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyways, they end up getting that thing off of her just in time because it's starting to get dark, and then it cuts away. Like we don't see anything after they get her out of there.
But one thing I do want to mention is, back at the town, Boyd is talking to AJ, the guy in the bus, and he's like, "Hey, guys, we're gonna do a little switcheroo. You're gonna stay into the, the police station. I'm gonna stay out here because I need to start watching these guys." He's trying to get a game plan to try to, capture one. So this next episode, that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna see them capturing one of these, creatures of the night.
At the end of the episode, we cut back over to the mom.
The mom is talking to Victor's father.
Yeah, and, Ethan's mom, Maja, is talking to Ethan's father.
Which I think
is too many similarities. You got the bottles, right, in the tree,
mm-hmm.
And then you got the necklace. You got the music. Way too many similarities there.
And when I started this show, this is my episode 1. This is what I was thinking. I was like, oh man, this reminds me of Lost. I wonder if they're going to be doing, scenes from them in the town and then scenes from out of the town. And this season we get that. And I was just like, boom, baby. I was right. I was right.
We did get it. We get like 2 episodes of, I guess 3 episodes of her being outside of the town. And it was very interesting because you were not really for sure. Is this all like in her head? Is she dreaming? If they die, do they go out of the town? That's a good question.
That's what they're. Well, she is dealing with the trauma of it, and she's sleep deprived. He keeps telling her to go to sleep. He's like, no. She's like, no. I got to figure this out. She's sleep deprived. I don't think that she's in. I think that she's in reality. She's in real world. I think that she just has so much trauma and she's so sleep deprived that she's freaking out and her mind is just can't handle it. She needs some sleep. And that's, where they kind of like on the way to the bottles, the bottle tree, because, she finds it in the back of Victor's dad's house. And they get hit by a vehicle and then they're off in this ambulance and they're going back to to this place, which I'm really excited to see Victor and his father connect. That's going to be wild.
That's going to be wild. See them connect. Man. And, we get to see the Jim and his wife.
I'm just curious.
Because Ethan's like, Mom's dead. Mom ain't never coming back. She's dead. But now.
I'm just curious how these ambulance people are going to.
Well, they're going to die, of course.
That's what I'm saying. Are they going to die?
I would imagine 2 or 3 of them die next episode. I would say 1 probably survives because they have to keep putting more cast in there because we keep losing people. So I would imagine a couple of them die
because they need.
I'm sure at least
fucking one doctor.
Well, they have a couple. They have
Christy,
the little doctor,
and then they have the pediatrician.
Christy.
But Kristen needs some help. She's hanging in on there by a thread. all the shit she's been dealing with.
I know.
She's struggling.
she is struggling.
And now she's got her leg almost or her foot almost amputated from that.
No, she's which maybe they do have to imitate that. I don't know because it looks like that's gonna hurt.
If they can get the right medicine in her, which hopefully the ambulance can provide that for her, we'll see. But that's
it's
so
true.
Beautiful.
They're gonna have way more medicine and supplies now. And that I don't know. Does ambulance even carry medicine in it? I don't know.
Well, no. Yeah. They carry medicine in it, 100%.
Oh, okay.
And that's what they said in like season 1. Where they're like, yeah, we scrapped everything off. That's where they got most of their medicine is from the old ambulance.
Oh, okay, that's right.
So I'm that's what's so cool about this is you can really, you can see after this episode where they're gonna go with this next coming episode, and it just really amps you up. Really excited. I'm for it, man. I wish it was already out.
The show's amazing, and I can't wait for episode 4. Anyways, thanks for checking us out, guys. We will be back next week with episode 4 of From, and we should have the video out sooner than what we had this video out. But we really appreciate you tuning in and checking us out. And we'll see you next time.
Peace, guys.